In the spiritual community, a lot of people see forgiveness as something incredibly important for our healing and also our awakening. So, yes, I do agree that forgiveness is important, but it is not as black and white as a lot of people may think. Forgiveness is not as easy, it's not as simple as saying, I forgive you, even though you have hurt me, I forgive you. No, 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 no. Forgiveness goes a lot way deeper and complex than just that. I think that the whole process of actually forgiving someone or a situation that has literally caused trauma in your life, it's really difficult. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not that simple. There are certain circumstances and situations that it almost seem as impossible to be forgiven. In this today's podcast, I want to talk all about forgiveness because this is something that we need to talk about more, especially in the spiritual community, because there's a lot of misconceptions surrounding forgiveness. At least that's how I personally feel. So I am not going to lie, okay? I will admit, first and foremost, I personally have issues with forgiveness. I can say that I have lived my life mostly with a lot of vengeance, a lot of anger, bitterness, pain, and hatred. So I know very well how difficult it is to forgive those who have really hurt us. So if you are dealing with the same issue, if you feel like you just cannot forgive this one person for hurting you so badly, for even causing you trauma, I really want you to listen to today's podcast because I really want you to open up your eyes and open up your heart by understanding the deeper meaning of what forgiveness really is. Because sometimes, just sometimes, forgiveness is not even about saying I forgive you to the person that have really hurt you that badly. So if you are new here to my channel, welcome. My name is Cindy Antoinette, and in my channel I do a lot of content for art, spirituality, and sometimes witchcraft as well. So if that is your thing, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell ring so you will not miss any new videos that I upload, and of course follow my Instagram for more content. All of the complete links to my social media and my website is down below in the description. And so don't forget to also like this video and comment down below after you watch this podcast. Okay, so I want to share a little bit about what I personally experienced in my life. So I have been spiritual all my life. I literally grew up being spiritual because of my mother. She has always been very spiritual, so I have learned all sorts of things about the law of attraction, manifestation, witchcraft, and a lot of things, like a lot of things. So I have experienced my own spiritual awakening since the beginning of 2014 or 2015, as I remember. But I personally finally did my own shadow work, like really deep shadow work, just last year, 2022. It was a point where it was incredibly difficult for me to process all of these emotions that I have been suppressing within myself. And I realized that is because I have been carrying a lot of anger, pain, and bitterness all of my life for so long, because I haven't found the courage to forgive some people and some situations that I have experienced in my life. And I also know that in order for me to attract better experiences into my life, if I want to do the law of attraction, manifestation, spell work, whatever it is, to attract more abundance, happiness, and so on and so forth into my life, I know that I need to be able to let go of those bitterness and pain and anger so that I can move on and create space for better new things to come into my life, to literally come into my heart. So that is a fact that I know for myself. So I went through a lot of shadow work and self-healing work for so long, literally for so many years. But yet, even up until this point, even after me realizing the importance of forgiveness, I still find it incredibly difficult, even sometimes I would even say impossible, to forgive some people in my life that literally caused me trauma. This is, this is the more extreme case. If you have been in this spiritual journey, you have done a lot of shadow work, you have done a lot of self-healing, probably for years, the same like me, and yet even so, you still have difficulties in forgiving certain things in your life because it literally caused you trauma. I get you. I get you, okay? Trust me, I get you. I understand you. I've been there and I'm kind of still here. A lot of times in the spiritual community, people keep saying that forgiveness is one of the steps, one of the key to awakening or enlightenment, because we literally drop all of those baggage, all of those pain and stuff like that away behind, and so we move on, which is true. But the reality is that there's a lot of people out there who experience intense trauma, and I'm not going to mention any specific things because it's going to be triggering for some people, so I want to be careful here. But a lot of people have gone through crazy, dark, extreme experiences in their life that literally caused them permanent brain damage and trauma, mental issues, emotional trauma, and even physical trauma, because it's literally in our DNA. So in that case, what I found to work with when it comes to forgiveness, even though it seems like it's impossible, is to forgive yourself. This is the key. So forgiving yourself is not about telling yourself that you're the one who's at fault for those experiences so that you forgive yourself. No, the thing is here, a lot of times when people have been through abuse, manipulation, and a lot of trauma in their life, they feel ashamed of themselves. They feel like they're not good enough. They feel that they are hopeless, that they are powerless, that they are useless. They just lose their self-value. They lose their self-confidence because of so many traumas and abuse and manipulation that they experience throughout their life, even maybe from their childhood. So I also learned a lot about psychology, so I really understand the depth of what happened to the human brain when they experience so much layers and layers of constant abuse and trauma, to the point that even when they want to heal, it's impossible to forgive their abuser. So what I want to say in this video is that actually you don't really need to forgive your abuser. What you need to do is to forgive yourself for feeling powerless, for feeling hopeless, for feeling useless, and feeling ashamed of yourself. Forgive yourself for feeling like you have no value, that you have no confidence, Forgive yourself because you have done nothing wrong. And let's just admit, at those times, you were a victim. But it's time for you to get out from that victimhood energy and release yourself. It's all about self-liberation. So the key in forgiving yourself is by giving yourself more love, compassion, patience, and understanding. There were some situations and people in my own life that I just know I won't be able to completely forgive them. No matter how hard I tried, I just can't. I feel like I literally cannot even force my heart and my soul to forgive them because I truly believe that they do not deserve my forgiveness. I know that I still need to do something about this though, I know that I cannot forgive them, but I also know that I cannot keep living on with this pain, with this anger, with this feeling of always being the victim and getting stuck, literally still being stuck in that experience that I had in the past. I don't want to be stuck, looping around and round and round in that same time frame when that happened. And so the only way that I can do to free myself, to bring myself peace, harmony, and love is by forgiving myself for feeling like I was useless and hopeless and just really bad about myself, because I blame myself for a lot of the things that people actually did to hurt me instead. So I forgive myself for having negative thoughts and feelings towards myself at that time. And I realized that back then I experienced a lot of abuse and manipulation and just a lot of things that's really, really causing permanent damage and trauma up until now. But I don't want to be stuck in that position anymore. I don't want to be stuck in that experience anymore. So I decided to forgive myself instead and release myself, detach myself from that thing. I feel like if we try to look at the concept of forgiveness from this perspective, I think that it might actually help a lot more people to deal with their pain, their trauma, and actually move on. Because I just feel that if we try to force ourselves to forgive people that we know we genuinely do not want to forgive, then you're just forcing something to happen that just cannot really happen. And in the end, you're just going to fake it. You're just going to fake yourself thinking that I have forgive this person, I have healed, I have moved on, But the moment that one day you experience a type of trigger that's similar to that experience, it's going to ruin everything again for you. If you need help, if you need professional help, then you gotta go see your doctor. I will always mention this because I noticed that a lot of times in the spiritual community, especially people who are lying to themselves and to other people behind this facade of positivity, which is actually toxic positivity. A lot of times people think that by being spiritual, that means all you have to do is just meditate, 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 and read lots and lots of self-help books, which I mean, it helps, okay? I did that, and yes, it helped me. It literally helped me throughout my healing process and also forgiving myself. But remember, if you really, really, really struggle with clear diagnosis, with clear mental trauma and possibly even physical damage to whatever you experienced back then, you would still have to go to get a professional help. Either you go to a psychologist or you go to a psychiatrist, it's up to you. There is nothing wrong, okay? There is literally nothing wrong in finding balance between helping yourself, healing yourself, but also asking for professional medical help, okay? We still need that balance. We still need to use our logical mind to find professional help, like medical help, instead of just, oh well, I guess I'll just deal with it myself. Because the thing is that for certain people that have gone through immense pain and trauma all their life, it's very difficult, and in fact I would even say dangerous, if they try to deal with all of that all alone by themselves, okay? It can actually be dangerous. So in the next video, I want to talk all about shadow work, because girl, let me tell you, I have done deep cleansing by doing a lot of shadow work since the month of October in 2022. I felt like I literally cleansed all parts within myself by reflecting on a lot of things about myself as well, and about a lot of experiences that have caused me a lot of pain in my life. And I have finally been able to free myself from those pain and the hauntings of those past memories. I was finally able to free myself by doing a lot of deep shadow work. But the thing is that I was able to do that because at that time, throughout the entire process, I was still getting professional medical help and also help from my best friends. So we still need balance over here, okay? Because I really think that if you try to process such heavy things, literally all of it, all by yourself, you would instead just go crazy. Like, it's probably going to make it worse, and it's dangerous for you, because you don't know if you are actually ready to handle those triggers by doing this deep self-healing work and deep forgiveness process. It's not that easy, it's not that simple. It's something that is very intense and very heavy and very difficult. So that is the last thing that I want to mention. I suppose I just want to let you know that if you're going through something like this, just be patient with yourself and don't put too much force and pressure onto yourself, and also ask for help. Please ask for help. Go read a lot of self books that you feel like you resonate with, and maybe watch a lot of YouTube videos like what you're watching right now about spiritual healing and law of attraction, or whatever it is that you feel called to learn more about. And I will still say that meditating helps a lot to calm down the mind, and taking that focus and that power back into ourselves, to focus into our inner heart, So I will admit that it really helps a lot. But it is also important to get the proper help when you are actually dealing with certain diagnosis or mental illness. Okay? Because if you're trying to do certain practices that might actually trigger you, you need some type of safety net, you know, like you need someone else that can be your safety net. At least if something goes wrong and you're getting triggered or something, you can still get the help that you need immediately. Because I really feel that the process of forgiveness, it's something that it's so heavy, you know. This is not just some type of process of meditating, thinking about that person who hurt you, and then you're like, I forgive you, you know, like it's not that simple. It's not that simple. So I guess like that's what I want to mention about, because I just want people to be more aware about, you know, this whole idea of spiritual healing, because it's something deeper and more complex than just meditating, forgiving people, and moving on. It's a lot more difficult and heavier than how it sounds like. So again, be patient with yourself and reach out for help if you really need to. And don't feel bad for yourself if you really think that you cannot forgive someone. Okay? You don't have to force out your heart to forgive someone if in your heart you just can't forgive those people that have hurt you. You don't actually have to force yourself to do that and then feel bad about it when you can't. Because like I said, it's just going to make it worse, right? It's going to make you feel bad about yourself. It's going to make you hate them even more. So that's why the key in this video that I want to talk about is actually forgiving yourself instead. You are your number one priority in this journey of healing. Okay, so that is all that I want to talk about, and keep update, okay, by clicking subscribe and the bell ring as well, because our very next video will be about shadow work, and I'm going to go really deep with that. So keep on watching, okay? And thank you so much for watching, of course, and let me know down below in the comments what are your thoughts about today's video, and I will see you soon. Please take care.